What's up guys, LeopoldTheBrave here, and could an Ape Escape remake be right around the corner? And the answer is maybe. There's definitely evidence for it, but nothing absolutely confirming. You see, a while back, the Japanese Ape Escape website updated completely randomly out of nowhere, and just recently, a new Ape Escape Twitter account opened up. PeepoSolder20th is the handle if you want to go check it out for yourself. But all week they've been posting teases and hints and celebrations for Ape Escape's 20th anniversary. They've released new phone wallpapers, new merchandise, t-shirts, etc. Something like this happened back in 2016 and nothing ever came of it, but this is on a much larger scale. It's an anniversary celebration and they opened an entirely new Twitter account for it. Why would they make a brand new Twitter account of Ape Escape just to advertise some wallpapers and pins for a week? So could we possibly be seeing the revival of Ape Escape with a brand new game, or remakes in the style of Medieval, Crash, and Spyro? Who knows, but keep an eye out for events like Tokyo Game Show and PSX later this year, as they could surprise us. But honestly, it's all a complete mystery. I do have hope though, otherwise I wouldn't have made this video. Just remember that series like Crash and Spyro are third party and more Western, so it's easier for them to communicate with each other and the Western fans that like them a lot. Meanwhile, Ape Escape was a big first-party Eastern franchise for PlayStation, where some of the games didn't even make it out of Japan, so it's kept pretty hush-hush when they're planning something. So just remain cautiously optimistic and don't give up entirely. It's still possible. Unfortunately, there's something else that isn't possible. You see, like I said earlier, Ape Escape is a first-party franchise for Sony, similar to how Mario is a first-party franchise for Nintendo. So if Ape Escape were to come back, it would be an exclusive, not a timed one either, just a complete exclusive to Sony. No Switch port, no Xbox port, just PlayStation, so sadly any Switch owners who may have wanted to try it out will be out of luck. But let's speculate on what it'd be like if an Ape Escape revival does actually happen. If a remake were to happen, I'd love to see several creative liberties taken. For instance, all the monkeys in the game, I'd love them to behave like they always did, have the same color pants, have the same stats, yada yada yada, but I'd love to see them have new names and new bios, new monkeys to catch. Next, I'd also love to see the controls balanced out. You see, Ape Escape 1 was really tight, but really slow. Ape Escape 2 was really slow and really loose, and Ape Escape 3 was really loose and really fast. Ape Escape 1 and 3's movement worked out the best in my opinion, so I'd love to see a fusion of them. The tightness of Ape Escape 1, but the quickness of Ape Escape 3. And if they do remakes of the entire trilogy, keep that consistent between all three, so we don't ever have to experience Ape Escape 2's floatiness, looseness, blah 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 blah, whatever that was, ever again. Don't get me wrong, I love Ape Escape 2 as well, but it was very in the controls department. And then finally, I'd love to see the minigames get touched up and fleshed out. Monkey boxing was one of my personal favorites, so I'd love to see tons added to that mode. So add everything I've said about a remake so far and add remastered soundtracks, visuals, yada yada, and it would be an incredible revival. But on the slight chance that we get a brand new game, please Sony Japan, make it a main series title. Give us Ape Escape 4. The game we've been waiting for over a decade. Ape Escape 4. And also release it worldwide, please. Don't make it exclusive to Japan, because we all want to play it. It would sell like hotcakes. I don't know how much hotcakes actually sell, but people usually use it a lot when talking about things that sell well. Now, when it comes to a potential Ape Escape 4, as much as I love Spike as the original protagonist, I do think it should continue the trend of the series of having a new protagonist every single game. Preferably two, like Ape Escape 3 did with one male and one female, so each can choose whichever they want to be. Just make sure they both actually have personality this time and don't have the most annoying voices on the face of the planet. Then there's the theming of the levels. Obviously, they'd have to be bigger and there'd have to be more considering it's gonna be on the PS4/PS5, but the theming itself is a bit tricky because in Ape Escape 1 they already did time travel, in Ape Escape 2 they did around the world, and in Ape Escape 3 they did this cool fantasy TV channel switching setting. Now I have two ideas they could do for an Ape Escape 4. The first one is a bit generic, you know, the obvious next step you'd go from all they've already done. Have them travel to different planets in space. Spectre sends monkeys to different planets so they can all be conquered at the same time instead of just Earth. It's a very obvious next step and it'd be really easy creativity-wise. The next step would be having the protagonist go into other people's minds. Like, let's say Spectre uses mind-controlled monkeys to mind-control humans by taking over their dreams and memories and such. It'd be a neat way to incorporate our own reality and world, but in a very abstract way that people's minds and subconsciouses could distort. Sort of a Psychonauts type thing. And of course get the composer back for the music, then use the gameplay style I mentioned earlier, and personally I think the transform mechanic from Ape Escape 3 shouldn't make a return. Now don't get me wrong, it was fun, but it was very situational and only useful at certain moments, and to add that onto the already different control scheme from what people are used to when it comes to Ape Escape, it would turn a lot of newcomers away and make the series die off or become Japan exclusive again. Even if you really like the transform mechanic, you have to admit it's a bit much for someone entirely new, especially with Ape Escape's already extremely unique control scheme. But overall, that's all the stuff I'd love to see from an Ape Escape revival, whether it's a remake, remaster, or a brand new game. I just hope it's coming, and hopefully these signs are pointing to a yes. LeopoldTheBrave, out.